I got everything in the truck if you're trying to get
Yeah,
that far.
let's burn cedar and
No, how far?
pray.
I got it'll take about 5 minutes to get close.
Okay, it's worth it that we're starting in a newly renovated and taking care of the business of our people in this newly renovated.
Okay. Smoke break then?
Okay.
Just hold on then, Kev.
Okay, we're live, okay.
I'll get some, just tell them that we're
What we
gonna,
are, what the second screen is, we're muted, and that's all you see.
okay. I'll grab some stuff out of my truck real quick.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, they're not ready, Bessie?
I got everything in the truck, guys. I need you guys to look at this. I was looking early this morning, Laura, I was looking at my crystal ball and I said, yeah.
Lorelei's gonna bug me.
Did you hear that when Isaac walked in? Teresa was like, "Oh."
Well, anyway, Friday, it was,
Teresa, you got a cool sweater on.
thank you.
And so we crossed out old business.
Yeah.
Yeah, he don't have his quotes ready.
I don't even have no tobacco to give Isaac.
Good morning.
Morning.
It's great. Wow.
Did you fly down?
We would have been back at 5:30 a.m., but we ran into some rain and fatigue.
Yeah.
We were at a rest area probably north of Sioux Falls. And it was so windy and rainy, we stayed there for a while just to go nap.
Yeah. It's
So
good.
get it into town. Good morning, everybody.
I went to a powwow up there years ago, and that is a long ass drive.
Yeah.
Holy.
it's
Never again, there ain't no powwow like that.
Kia got second, Misu got second, and Wombly got first. And then Misu got second of Woodland Boys Special too, or no, just a traditional special. So they made new tracks.
Oh, nice.
So this is about third year we went up there, and
So did Wobbly say he's from the Winnebago tribe of Nebraska on the mic? or
not
what?
this time.
Oh, okay.
We just got back from Winnipeg, everybody. That's where we went to a powwow. It was a very beautiful celebration. 8 hours. 8 hours straight there, straight back. Which isn't bad enough. Over next week, maybe 10 hours. Stop. Get to graduation. Oh, I know. The little relatives are gonna sing the flag song today. Oh,
Oh, nice.
they're just cute.
Appreciate the Isaac. Hello. Yeah, can I call you back? It would get right here. Thank you.
silence. And then, I just want to start off by saying, good morning to all of you guys. And then I was thinking about this a while back of who was gonna do anything or start with the prayer. I've kind of seen a little bit of this stuff and kind of overlooked me for having my back towards you, lady relatives. But I want to make a prayer here, and then seeing all the different things that took place in these other chambers down here. There's a lot of discussion that goes on behalf of our tribal members, from the youngest to the oldest ones, and then what's done in this room and amongst the elected leaders is there's a lot of decisions that are made on behalf of our children. And we want good things for them, and then we want them to be able to live their life here on this creation in a good way. And so this morning, we're going to start off with a word of prayer, and then going to sign off the board directions, and then each one of your council members, and then the audience from here. And so I want to say thank you to you for being here this morning. Aho Mono Chunga come here at this time, so you want to get up to for the state. And Mono Chunga, as we continue on here on this day, each one of us are thankful to be here. Thankful for our families, our relatives, all the things that we get to come across here on the creation. So you want to get up to for those things. And Mono Chunga, I said, can continue to bless these chambers here, that all the discussion and all the things that are talked about and shared with each other, Mona, that we continue to try to do it in a very good way on behalf of our people, the youngest to the oldest. And Mona, Chungara, say, could bless our soldier boys and soldier girls, ones that are overseas, that are here. And Mona, Chungara, share all the we may share us. And Mona, Chungara, say, you want to get each one of us will get to come by a bit still in here. And Mono Chungara, elders, the ones that are sick, the ones that are lonely, the one bless them in a good way. Then Mono Chungara, the ones that are sitting around to the future. Mono Chungara, take care of them. Each one of our leaders that are here now, that they worry about the things that Mona, they keep in their hearts, Mona, take care of them in a, see here thinking about the one, the mourners, Mona, some of them that Mona, some of them that have a hard time, I say, bless them through this. I'm going to ask you to watch the children, the seasons, and then take care of them in a good way. Maybe be here thinking about all the you're going to be on this to come. Going to get upset to you for all the rain. See that our harvest, the ones in the ground, they could bless them that we could have. Say these kind of things to you here. Come for our tribe holidays that food. It's hard to that we could things that Mona, I'm going to see things to you, thinking of ones that are lost out there, that were didn't know for mental illness, that have homes. Mona, I say, to bless them. And he, as leaders, Mona, will try very each other, all of our tribal members. Mona, I say, so that each one of them will talk with compassion, Mona. Don't be make sure that those things share room here. We have a lot of heavy discussion. Plus this, that if we can find a good, they help in our path, they would be, stable. And Mona Changara, you need overall first responders, Mona, nurse, doctors, those Mona, all the ones in our, that are in our, Mona, to share them, that they could guide and help. Mona, please be here, that if there's anything that I make, for take care of it for us, that's like, the two-legged, four-legged ones, all the ones that swim in the water, the ones that creation, a whole issue came. Good prayer, so.
Thank you, Isaac, for those blessings on behalf of the chambers, the council, and our community. Call our meeting to order at 9:33 a.m. And I'd like to acknowledge that wonderful blessing we had cedering off the chambers, and each of the tribal leaders and our respected community and tribal members that are here with us. And so with that, we're going to move into our meeting. We have an agenda before us. We're going to go a little out of order and have Winnebago go first and hear from left hand Echo Hawk left hand, Mr. Echo Hawk left hand. Second, under new business, we're adding number 4, WHDC advertisement, Winnebago Housing Development Commission. Number 5, Together for Indigenous Families. And under tribal council items, we have an executive session. Are there any further items to add? Do we have a motion to approve the agenda?
Move it.
Motion by Eric, we have a second by Eugene. Discussion? Objection? Motion carried 8-0-0. Good morning, everybody again. It's wonderful to have a full council. Just everyone's looking really good. This room's looking really good, and looking forward to having our first meeting of great meetings in here. I'd like to invite Tom Teasdale up for his presentation.
Good morning and congratulations to the Winnebago tribe and tribal government on this beautiful renovation to the building to do the good work of the tribe.
So we have a request. As you know, we're very thankful for Winnebago's Resort Casino and Resort, and all the wonderful work they do out there, the patrons, the tribal members, and all Siouxland area that make that place what it is. And we're also thankful for your leadership, Mr. Teasdale. And so there's a memo in the packet for the annual thank you checks. And as you see, Council, there's increments of service and amounts. And for less than 6 months, it's prorated. It goes on to further discuss the leadership and the total amount. So is there a motion to approve these as presented? We have a motion by Rona. We have a second by, was that Eugene?
No,
Second by Eric.
Question on discussion.
Discussion at Lorelei.
Tom,
Yes, ma'am.
I just want to make sure that we're still within the budget of what you bring over for our travel appropriation.
Yes, we are.
We're okay, and so we have this.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, just making sure. Gotta be clear about that. You know that. Thank
Yes,
you.
ma'am.
Just for the memberships, I'm gonna read the year amounts and then the amounts, just so people can get an idea of how we appreciate them and that we're working towards ways to acknowledge that. For 30 plus years of service, an employee would get $3,000. For 25 to 29 years of service, they would get $1,750. For 20 to 24 years of service, they would get $1,500. For 15 to 19 years of service, $1,250. 10 years to 14 years, they would get $1,000. 5 to 9 years, $750. 1 to 4 years, $500. And 6 months to 1 year would be $250, and prorated for after that. So I just want to read those, knowing that money can never pay for some things like time away from family, but we want to just show some effort of gratitude. So thank you, Council, for those motions. Or is there any further discussion? Objection to the motion? Motion carried 8-0-0. Thank you, Tom, for representing the casino and always having your teams back.
Thank you very much. And Madam Chair, I had one update. Secretary Little George had shared with me a request from media to purchase a spotlight to recognize all of our 2025 graduates. And I have the media buyers for Winnebago's working with that media outlet to get that paid for with added value based on the tribe's spend to advertise Winnebago's throughout the year. So I'll have an update for the council at Thursday's meeting.
Okay, great. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
Our next guest is from the state of Nebraska. I'd like to invite Echo Left Hand up.
Yeah, it's over here. My name's Echo Hawk Left Hand. I'm from the Navajo Nation down in the Southwest. Currently, I serve as the administrator for the Office of Health Disparity in the Department of Health and Human Services, Office of Public Health. Thank you for allowing me to be on the agenda. I just wanted to come today before you all, tell you about this travel consultation session that we're having here May 28th and 29th, and we're following the framework. I know that traditionally travel consultations are from federal to tribe, but we're following the same framework in regards to Department of Health and Human Services. So the Department of Health and Human Services has 6 divisions. We have behavioral health, developmental disabilities, public health, children, youth, and family services, Medicaid, long-term care, and then economic assistance. So through those 6 divisions, we want to come together with respective Winnebago agencies to see how we can support and the work that is happening here on Winnebago. So here 2 years ago, we brought a similar kind of gathering together up in Sioux City. We asked each of the 4 tribes to come together, and I think primarily out of that conversation, the biggest priorities that came out was just communication between the tribes and the state. And then from there, even within internal to DHHS, we didn't realize that each one of the divisions had a tribal liaison. So through that identification, we've been working together to try to see what we can do collaboratively. And so from there, we said that we should have individual, unique conversations with each tribe, because each tribe has, different goals, objectives, and following kind of the missteps from our first one, not to have so much conversation on the front end to kind of get into what are the needs of each of the tribal nations. And so we've been having this conversation since I think January, February is when we started. And it's always been on the forefront to try to engage tribal council. However, I think this is late, being that this is next week. I apologize for that. I think we've just been trying to figure out what is the appropriate way to come here to approach the council. I think there's been ways of going through the director's report. There's been other ways that maybe people from Winnebago should help us to come forward. However, time was kind of the essence, so we kind of contacted Teresa, got on the agenda. And that, I guess that's first and foremost. I apologize for being here this late in the game. So with that, the flyer that is handed out has an agenda of both days. This will take place over in South Sioux City at the Marriott. It'll begin 8 o'clock each day. It'll end about 4 o'clock. And we'll be using a framework called technology participation. So it allows for consultation, to have consensus from everyone. And then we'll break out into smaller groups of each division to talk about each group's goals and objectives, and then try to come forward. From the DHHS side, we have most of the deputy directors attending, just to have buy-in from the DHHS side. We are still recruiting, so that's kind of where we're at.
Thank you for that overview, and for the opportunity to have these discussions. The May 28th, so unfortunately, in the way that you went about this, we are scheduled for meetings on the 28th that are non-negotiable. And our public safety is one of the greatest priorities right now, and we're moving towards compacting law enforcement services. So on the 28th, we have a law enforcement meeting, and then after that, we have a Fast 41 meeting. So we could I could talk to the council and see if folks are available to go to that meeting or if folks can leave after the law enforcement meeting. But I just want to share that with you as just letting you know that we have ongoing work that can't be disrupted.
Okay.
But if you would have worked with us on picking those dates, we possibly could have shared that with you. The other thing you mentioned was that the deputy directors will be there. Is there a reason why the directors don't have an expectation to be there?
Well, that's who's gonna be there.
Oh, you
My
said the
apologies,
deputy
yeah.
directors.
So Tony Green, Charity Menifee just vacated her position, so it'll be Ashley Newmeyer. The deputy or the director for behavioral health will be there. Director for Children Family Services will be there. Those are the ones that have confirmed with me.
Okay. So was anybody from the tribe a part of these discussions?
So we worked a lot with Mona Zifante, Camila Baragas, Michelle Parker. She was going to come present with me today, but she had another meeting that was going on.
Okay.
Willie Bass.
Well, I hope this fits their schedule because it doesn't fit the council's.
Yeah. Yeah, it does fit their schedule because
What about
initially
the tribal administration?
Darla Lapointe.
You've talked with her?
Yeah, she's
Because we have programs on this side that could surely benefit from these discussions.
Yeah. Brittany, did you have a comment?
We barely found about this about a week, 2 weeks ago. It was my initiation that we had the consultant reach out to us and wanted to know if they can review our comprehensive plan to identify some of the goals that are in there to coincide with what their resources and funding that they're presenting, just so that they have that consultation and all the funding resources. So that's why I'm here. Is like I didn't know about this, and
So did we release that plan to them?
no, I have
Okay.
the condensed plan that we always went by, but I told them that for them to actually review and dig into it, then I would need council's approval to do it, and that's where I had met with Darla on Friday to just come to the meeting and let them know. So,
Okay. Does the council, I guess, is there any feedback on sharing the tribes? So is it the strategic plan or?
and I guess that's where I'm at loss too, because this kind of seems like it's on the WCHS's side, and I believe they have their own strategic plan.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
I don't know about releasing our internal document to the state personally.
Yeah, that's where I had this whole confusion, and I just wanted to re-clarify that this was for the WCHS side, and I believe they have their own strategic plan that they would go based off of, but some of the discussions were about like programs within human services. I believe there was like a couple of them in there, but that's where I would come into play with like identifying what is what and separating out from that, but you know, that's up to you guys' discretion, or whether you guys want to provide it or not.
So I would probably have you work with Darla and she can get the right people to the right meeting at the right time. That way, and then we'll probably want to, the council is going to want to know what came out of this and what the next steps is, and on your side and also on the tribe side. But I would direct this towards our CEO to make sure that we have some kind of representation there. And so that way we can share some of the information. And I wouldn't be in favor of releasing any documents until we kind of like dig farther into there. The Winnebago tribe in the state of Nebraska are, we'll say since we burnt cedar this morning, are working on making a better relationship. But it hasn't always been where it's at today. So we're kind of, we're still working on trying to strengthen that relationship between the state and the tribe. And one day, hopefully it gets there and it benefits each and every tribal member that's out there. So I would, and you already have Darla's information, contact information. Okay. Is the council with the council? That's what I would suggest. You guys all right with that? I think.
I agree with that.
So, but you did meet with Darla? You
She
said?
came to our meeting 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
Yeah, that was the first time that she
So,
had come.
I just want to share something in a good way with you. It's not, we want to make sure that we have consistent conversations with our state and federal partners. But when you plan a meeting outside of our office and with outside entities and not with our administrators or our council, that makes us difficult to accommodate the dialogue.
Mhm.
So could you work with our team and not outside folks?
In terms of the facilitation or,
Well, you said you had a planning group, and so you mentioned all folks that aren't within the tribal organization.
oh,
So those folks don't.
yeah, well, initially through our tribal liaisons, who they work with on the tribe side is who we reached out to first. And that's kind of how we went about trying to establish connection. But I do hear like.
So I don't know why those
first, yeah.
folks would be planning a meeting and picking the day when we would have our consultation respectfully. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I'm making the disconnect.
But I guess if we wanted to, go into this and feel like we were a part of it, we would want to be a part of like our CEO or perhaps one of our administrators. So, but I think that we can still figure this out. I guess next year you can't call on other folks to plan our meeting.
So, yeah. So, moving forward and trying to keep it in a good way is to be able to reach out to the tribal council, whoever is the tribal council secretary in that position. That's where you'd probably reach out to, and then let the council know, and then the council can let the CEO know, and then the CEO can get a hold of the right people that have a background in this and kind of know a little bit more about these kind of things. That's kind of the standard format, just so that way, so we always have to watch out because it's like that in Indian country, you got all these people that come in and who knows what they're up to, so we try to make sure that everything runs through the tribal council first. A part of it too is that we have a lot of new employees that work for the tribe, and some of them will think they're moving in the right direction, and then we'll end up with kind of situations of different things that come to the tribe and nobody knows nothing about, and so just kind of moving forward, maybe always reach out to the tribal council secretary. All of our contact information is on the website, and so you can reach out to any one of us as individuals, or there is a general email that hits all 9 tribal council members too. But the secretary is usually pretty good at relaying the information, so that's all I got.
So these 2 days are specifically for the Winnebago tribe.
Just for Winnebago. And we'll have Santee and all the other tribes later on in the year.
Any comments from the council?
I just wish that you would have contacted us sooner so we could have scheduled dates that would have worked for the council, because now we're already into it, day late and a dollar short. Everything's already set and we can't make it. And it's our 2 days that we were given. But there was no communication there. So food for thought next year, before anything starts, to probably come to the council and talk to us on what the scope is for the year, so we can get on the same page and do dates and approve travel if we need to. And there's just a lot of stutter stepping that needs to take place before we can say, okay, good. Because right now it's just about having another group requesting us to release our documents on a date that we can't make the meetings to. It just like, I think they call that a clusterfuck, right? And so we just we're not on the same page right now. We're not eye to eye. We're just missing it a little bit somehow. And so I think it's just that lack of communication prior to being this close to these meetings. So forced for the trees for next year to get that communication started 4 to 6 months prior to this, so we can kind of ease in on the same page and know what the dates are, what we're going to talk about, what documents are really needed to be present. We can have all the manpower that we need there from any department that we need, and if we decide to go, we're gonna have a entourage of our tribal workforce to go with us to fit everything that's going to be asked of us and answer any questions that needs to be answered. So just that communication prior to being this close to the meeting next year, that's kind of the way I would see it rolling out a little bit smoother. So I got Chairman.
Well, thank you, Eric, for weighing in. On the positive, the 29th is completely open. So we wouldn't have any competing meetings on that day.
Okay. We can also provide like an after, just an overall report on what was discussed to the council too after. So we'll do that.
So what does the state of Nebraska, does the state of Nebraska have a consultation policy?
We do not.
No. Do you guys follow HHS's consultation policy?
I don't think we've even thought about it. 'Cause
Okay.
I don't know of anything on the state side as far as tribal consultation. We've kind of just used the methodology
Okay.
just to try to be more appropriate.
Over the past 2 years, let me finish. Over the past 2 years, the Biden, well, the previous administration required all these agencies that outside of HHS and Interior to hold tribal consultations with all the tribes. And then HHS updated its tribal consultation that's supposed to go down to each of the division operatives, but each division has their own tribal consultation policy. So I'm just wanting to make sure that you guys follow that. And if you could look into that, because I guess if headquarters and each of the agencies underneath HHS have a consultation policy, I would want our state to know about it so that we would be treated, I guess that would guide our exercises. So that's just one suggestion because it doesn't sound like you guys are aware of that.
Well, I'll make
Okay.
sure that we look into it.
So HHS has a broad one and then each individual one has their own. Laura.
I just wanted to bring up historically, back in the day, we didn't have an individual coming from the state to talk to us. So that's why the tribes back in the day asked the governor for that Indian board that Kenny's on.
Nebraska Commission for Indian Affairs.
Yeah. And that one woman is the director,
Judy.
Judy. And she's totally like operating in a silo. And so this should have been on her agenda and out front to get in contact with the tribes and assist DHHS. She's paid to do that. And so I just want you to know that every quarter, all 4 tribes have a meeting. And then it moves and it's hosted by each tribe takes their turn. And then we put forward issues that affect all tribes in Nebraska. So if you have something going forward, you could get on the request to be on the agenda of that meeting where you can talk to all 4 tribes. And we just had one, and was it in March or April?
We had one in April. He came last year and I kicked him out because I was like, why is this state guy here? And so I was telling him that, hi. Last year when he came to the Nebraska Inter-Tribal Council meeting, I said, the state don't get to be a fly on the wall. And so then, and that's not to you because you're a Native American man and I appreciate you being in this role, but it's just that the state has a way of working with the tribes that we're still sorting through and want it to be to the benefit of the tribe. And so I'm real suspicious of the state. And so we'll have to, I guess, put it on the agenda and have consensus with the tribes, because I guess out of respect for Chairwoman Schmidt, he said, well, the chairwoman invited me. But I still felt strongly that those are internal discussions that the tribes get to have with each other, and that's our space. So I was just taken back that the state was there and it wasn't on the agenda. So to Lorelai's point, we could do that in a good way. Eugene?
So my only question to you would be, you're asking to share the strategic plan or whatnot, but what specifically are you guys looking for, or what would be the purpose, or what are the questions you're asking of that plan?
Well, I think the plan, we're working with a consultant group out of Chicago, And they're the ones who are leading this top strategic facilitation style. And so they're trying to figure out, well, if we don't have these 6 groups, like I'm talking about the divisions, what other groups can we maybe possibly get into from the strategic plan? So that was just kind of how to organize the conversations on tribes, in terms of the tribe versus these divisions from the state. And so from the state, I think the 4 areas that we help are going to be talking about is funding, training, technical assistance, and then any kind of networking and advocacy. Those are the 4 primary areas that the state can help.
Yeah, that's all I had. All right, thank you.
I think if we comes to the United Tribal Nebraska meeting, that if you have something to present, and be one of the first on the agenda, so that way it kind of eases us the suspicion, and that way you come in, we get you taken care of and have that discussion. That way you can leave, you're not that fly on the wall attracting attention. And so I would say, because of the, like you heard, the tribes, we like to take care of our own business together and help each other out. And to have a state rep come in and knowing that we're working on with the state in different capacities and areas, that's where that suspicion is. And we kind of don't, we only talk about certain things, like anybody. You only talk to even your friends, you only talk certain things. You don't talk about what happens inside your house or the details of your work or anything like that. And so we all work together at a certain pace or at to a certain place. So I'm just kind of saying that out loud because all I have to do is speak the words, and then the people that will be making those decisions will have that direction, that input. And so I'd just like to say about that much, Chairwoman.
Thanks. So from the tribal health team, our public health folks, do you have confirmation that they will be attending?
We have a registration list. I'm not 100% who's all on it right now.
So is the WCHS, the Winnebago Comprehensive Healthcare System, have they invited their colleagues?
We tried to invite as much of the C-suite, I think that's what it's called, of those representatives.
Okay. I guess I just want to make sure you have people at your meeting.
Me too.
When I'm reading this, I hope I found a reason to have this comment, and these comments that was issued with training, technical assistance, networking, and the training and technical assistance. We need that. We do need that, especially when the state does those white applications that be the white manual, it's thick and stuff. Because I'm saying that is because I'm dealing with this thing with our insurance, Mahoney Group, our own insurance. I seen this thing hospital in indemnity, if I pronounce it wrong. I said, hey, that's a good thing. My wife's always hospitalized. Now my daughter, so I forgot I even had it. I don't think anybody ever tried to use only these papers here. I call HR at the hospital and I'm saying anything. I'm here just for myself. It's our own insurance company. Does our rep even know who our HR people are? That's training and stuff for this. So that's my comment I have. But yeah, we need that training and technical assistance to deal with these kind of applications and programs, so people can step up and help our people when they fill those big applications and screw users like that. Because we have a simple 1 or 2 page one, but you want more funding from the state, they'll get to this one. So thanks, and our people will show up, and hopefully share their information and learn some stuff from it. So, that's all.
Thanks, Coley, for weighing in. So what should we do?
Sure. I mean, I think we're still
We
having
could ask
everything
our
pretty much
CEO
confirmed.
to work with the programs that can benefit from this consultation and see if they can have representation at that conference both days on our side. Because we have a human services program partly funded by the state. So it's important that we keep these conversations going on behalf of our families. So we could do a motion to ask the CEO.
To coordinate our
Yeah.
department.
Yeah, our department.
The main one I thought about was Muscoo, and he's a part of our law enforcement meeting. So you'll have to
Oh.
choose. Muscoo's very dynamic. He's got law enforcement experience as well, so he's a part of our work group.
He's been a part of a few of our meetings recently in the last 2 or 3 weeks.
Okay. So we'll work with our CEO to make sure that our folks know about this. And the tribal leaders will be there as soon as we can. For those that are available. I will be there as soon as I can.
Okay.
Motion to approve travel for those that can make themselves available on those days.
Yeah, well, would it, since it's within, it would only be mileage reimbursement.
Yeah.
Yep,
Because this one specifically is just in South Sioux City. right?
yeah, yeah.
One second.
So we got a motion by Teresa and we have a second by Eugene.
We have a registration like that has all the information. I'll send that to Teresa too, and then she can.
Forward it on.
Yep.
Okay.
Any further discussion? Objection? Motion carried 700. Well, thank you, Mr. Echo Hawk, for,
Thank you.
excuse me, I don't know why I keep, you, both your names are cool, so I don't know if I should call you. Really cool names, so.
He's just that indeed.
Okay, Mr. Left Hand, thank you for making the trip. Okay, so then that brings us to the minutes. And so we've got the May 6, 2025 regular tribal council meeting minutes. Do we have a motion to approve?
Move it.
Motion by Eric, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Eugene. Discussion? Objection? Motion carried 700. May 7th, 2025 HCI annual plan meeting presentation minutes. Do we have a motion to approve?
Move it.
Motion by Eugene. Do we have a second? Second by Rhoda. Discussion? Objection? Motion carried 700. May 9th, 2025 special meeting minutes. Do we have a motion to approve?
Move it.
Motion by Eric. Do we have a second? Second by Rona. Discussion?
Oh, I just wanted to mention what was the title of the special meeting? Because it doesn't say that, and the members that are watching might want to know that.
Let me see. Let me come up with a title. That's when we had to approve the updated judge up resolution.
Okay, so it's the
And so
broadband.
it was the broadband project.
Okay,
Yep.
just so the members that are watching know
Thank-
about the broadband.
Thank you for clarifying that. Yep. Thank you, Council, for being available for that. That was Joy and the team really needed some follow up. Any further discussion? Objection? Motion carried 700. May 12th, 2025 Fiscal Resource Report meeting minutes. Do we have a motion to approve?
Move it.
Motion by Eugene. Do we have a second? Second by Rona. Discussion? Objection? Motion carried 700. And then lastly, May 13th, 2025 CEO report meeting minutes. Do we have a motion?
Motion. I'll second.
Motion by Eric, second by Eugene. Discussion? Objection? Motion carried 700. Showing no ratifications, moving into new business. We have the 2025 graduation salute. So that's a sponsorship. Is that KTIV or who does that?
ACA.
KCAU. So the tribe participates annually in the KCAU kind of celebration of our graduates, and 30 spots congratulating the students on their achievement and wishing them the best. And it costs $350. That would come out of tribal council advertisement.
Motion to approve.
We have a motion by Eric. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Eugene.
Approve the 350.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Objection? Motion carried 700. We have a fundraising matching request in the packet from Mr. Jared Doxey II, and he is requesting a match for the Nebraska AA national team. He is on an all-star A team. They did a wheel of name, they did a last man standing to determine the name. The raffles generated $2,080. Half of that was $1,040. They've attached the transactions. And so in the backup shows how much they received and how much they're paying for this event.
Madam
we
Chair,
have
I'll
a
make a
cap?
motion to approve a $1,000 match.
Up to 250 individual and 1,000 team
Mhm.
per tribal council policy, donation policy.
Yeah, so I'm gonna put, mine's on the 1,000 to match what he already raised.
Second.
We have a motion by Lorelai, we have a second by Eric. Discussion? Objection? Motion?
Yeah. I'll abstain. Okay, that's policy.
All those in favor of the motion?
Aye.
So we got Lorelai, we
Aye.
got Coley, Eugene, Eric opposed.
Abstain.
Two abstentions. Teresa, how'd you? So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 0, 2. Motion carried.
Thank you. I'm so proud of that young man, I just can't even stand it.
That brings us to, thank you, council. Motion carried. That brings us to the number 4 Winnebago Housing Development Commission advertisement. Thankful to that board and those that serve
What
on that
about
board.
number 3, madam?
We
That was first. on
did
the
that
agenda.
with
Oh,
Tom
that's
Tisdale. Yep,
Tom?
yep, we did that.
Okay, WCHR, I didn't know what that was.
So
Sorry.
this next one in the packet. Okay, it was handed out, my bad.
Motion to advertise.
We have a motion by Rona to advertise for 1 vacancy for 3-year term. Do we have a second?
You doing 30 days or until?
30 days. or-
30 days?
Second.
Okay, second by Eugene. Discussion? Objection?
Oh, I just wanted to just tell the council that there was kind of a mix-up. But the council approved this on March 25th, the new revised Winnebago Housing Development Commission bylaws. And in the bylaws, the Housing Commission wanted to create a 6th seat, because there's 5 on there now, in order to have more input. And so somehow it didn't get to the person that should have been doing the advertising. So that's why we're advertising, because there was no.
Thank you for clarifying that. Any further discussion? Objection? Motion carried 700. Moving into, let's see, no old business. Moving into tribal council items, we have 1 executive session item. Do we have a motion to go in? Oh, wait. Oh, sorry, my bad. Togetherness, I didn't write that down. Want to acknowledge Ms. Goose sent us an invitation, Togetherness for Indigenous Families, passing along the information on a conference in Omaha, June 3rd and 4th. This is Together for Indigenous Families grant in partnership with the state of Nebraska. This inevitably is the first ICWA conference in the state. Please register to attend if possible. So ICWA is the Indian Child Welfare Act, and it sounds like it's going to be a pretty robust meeting in Omaha. So if anyone's interested in or available, do we have a motion to support travel for the council? We have a motion by Teresa. Do we have a second?
Okay.
Second by Rona. Discussion? Objection? Motion carried 700. Okay, moving on to the tribal council items. Do we have a motion to go into executive session?
Move it.
Motion by Eugene. Do we have a second? Second by Rona. Discussion? Objection?
Motion carried 700. We're going into exec at 10:12 a.m. That means QP time also.
Okay, Madam Chair, here's the letter.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion by Eric to adjourn. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Eugene. Discussion?
You want it?
Motion carried. We're adjourned at 11:19 a.m.
Teresa, what's our next meeting? Is it Wednesday, this general council? What do we got tomorrow?
It's on our calendar.
Let me go up. Tomorrow's the 20th.
Law enforcement.
Law enforcement.
enforcement.
Oh, okay, at 9.
Yep. 9
Fun.
Fun.
So are we gonna remind, who's our acting right now? Do we know?
Rouliard.
Roulard?
Yeah, Roulard.
Oh, okay.
He's here till September, so it sounds
Oh,
like
is
he'll be
he?
here. We're still on.
Okay, so we're good to
We have
go.
a
We're
meeting
adjourned.
every day.
We're adjourned in terms of myself.